All right. So look, since we're talking about, since we're talking about, since we're talking about the issue, right? Um,
Confused.
yeah. So we see it all the time.
Look at that face.
We see
He's
it.
confused.
I
Right
am.
We,
That's my
we, we,
confused
we see
look.
it all the time, right? We see it all the time where people will be in a situation to where they don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know what they would rather be confused than be alone, right? They would rather be in a situation where they don't know if it's traction with the person or not, where they don't know if it's even going anywhere. It might be stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Like they would rather be in a situation. They'd rather be in love by themselves and confused than be alone and healing. Now I want to ask y'all fellas, which one would you rather be? Would you rather be confused or would you rather be alone?
It's easy for me alone.
Yeah. So
I mean,
yeah. No.
I mean,
So
when I was younger, I probably would have helped. I used to hold on to things a lot longer than what I should have. I knew stuff was dead, but and I didn't want to be by myself. Um, you know, it is fun to have in house. You know what I'm saying? Being with that person, having access to that person, and change. Like once you get used to doing certain things, that change is difficult. So a lot of times people don't want to have to change what they got going on, and that's why they sit through the confusion periods longer than what they should. But
yeah.
this stage of my life, definitely I'll be alone before I'll be confused or caught up in any kind of foolishness.
I feel you.
yeah. I think it's I think like if you ask anybody, right, they'll say, "Oh no, I'd rather be alone." But I think it's harder than that. You know what I mean? For some people, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
If you're in a situation where like let's say like you're not happy with yourself, or
Hmm.
your happiness depends on other people. Real quick, as I've grown up, I'd rather be alone, but I definitely used to stay confused just so I didn't have to be alone. Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're in a situation where because a lot of people like there may be a point in your life where you're not happy by yourself.
Hmm.
So now you're looking for happiness within other
Others,
people.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You need
So
somebody else's energy to take you to the level where you
yeah,
feel
and
happy.
yeah, I love the vulnerability here. Royal Highness says I've definitely been confused before too. Yes, I think a lot of people have been to that point where they rather be confused than be alone because they're not
It's comfortable having
right.
somebody.
Right. It so I think it's a tougher choice. You know what I mean? I think we want to be at a place where we're happy being alone, but that takes you a bit of maturing and getting to a place of like self-love to really be like, you know what? I don't really need this person in my life, and I can be good by myself and handle things. But you have to get to that certain point.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
yeah.
Because like until you've been broken down to that point to where you understand being alone is healthier than keep staying in a toxic situation, you won't be able to step out that box. And a lot of times people promote toxic relationships so much they think that this is natural to be arguing and going through
Yeah.
uh, you know
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
All right, couple comments. It's definitely not always easy to be alone, but living in a state of confusion is definitely not good for your mental health. Yes, absolutely. But now I wouldn't be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship, and really be unhappy. Yeah, and I think the thing is that too. It's like sometimes you end up loving someone more than you love yourself, and
Hmm.
and that's really bad. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you're just sitting here
Being abused.
being mentally
Emotionally,
emotionally
yeah.
or mentally abused just because you love this person so much and you don't love yourself enough to say, hey, look, I don't
This is
deserve
killing me.
this,
Yeah.
is killing me, and I don't deserve this, and I can do better. And that's also having the confidence in yourself to say I can do better. Some people, like, you know what I mean, they may not admit it, but they might be like, this might be as good as it gets. You know,
Mhm.
a lot, you know what I mean, a lot of people might think that like, hey, this might be it for me. Like, so I have to be, or this is my person, or you know what I mean. A lot of women, they just like they zone in on this man, and they're like, but this is it. This is it.
And then they don't want to start over again,
and they don't want to start over
in that situation because it's gonna be hard to trust somebody and all that blah 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 blah.
D says, say that again, Prime. That happens. Loving someone more than you love yourself is so easy to happen. Yeah, and and the other trap that I see a lot of women get into is they're like, oh well, I've been through all this. I don't want to have to go through all this for it to not work.
Yeah.
And like you said, start over. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, like I went through all this for it to
fear of starting
right.
over.
Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's okay if I go through all this because at the end there's my happily ever after.
Right.
And some people get caught in that, and it's like
a lot of people don't want to go through the struggle, bro. It's a struggle, bro. It's a struggle. Like, therapy helped me a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Like, I said it many times on this podcast, bro. I was a serial monogamous for years, bro. And my whole thing is, what I'm saying, like I was cool with being confused. You know what I'm saying? Like I would ride out till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't put me in the space of being happy for sure. Like it was, I was unhappy.
Kept me busy.
Yeah, it definitely kept me busy. Yeah, it kept me busy and kept me distracted from being, unhappy. So, but after you reach that point of realization, like, I'd rather be by myself, bro. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm cool.
That's a good.
I'm cool.
That's a good place to be though. Like where you just like cool by yourself and you just like, you know what I mean? Because when you're not, you end up putting yourself in bad situations. Because a lot of times it's like you don't really like this, but you're so scared of being alone that you pick it anyway. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like when you have that option, because it's not for some people being alone is not an option, and then you end up with bad choices. So if you can just choose yourself, like, you can save yourself a lot.
That's how that